I want to wish all the viewership of Happy New Year 2024. This is the first Eye on Piscataway that we have for this year. And we're fortunate enough to have the new executive director of the Piscataway Community Center, Kyle Stroham, moved on to bigger and better things. He's actually got promoted within the Metuchen Edison system and now is being groomed to take over the whole operations. But we have an able deputy over there who's now going to be the head honcho,
yes, sir.
Dan Hontz. So, but 2023 was a very involved year for the facility over there. I remember right prior to Christmas, the holiday season, that one Saturday night, every parking spot was filled. I guess there was a swim meet going on, and it's just amazing the amount of people that are out there. And I think we're going to have to look about getting some additional parking out in that area.
Coming down the line for sure.
But that actually sends a signal out there that it is a very vibrant building and a lot of activities going on.
Absolutely.
And you see it ground zero because you're over there a lot. I mean, you don't sleep there, but you're there
yep.
more so than other people. So why don't we talk a little bit about what people can expect in year 2024 over at the community center?
Yeah, so we offer a lot of great stuff already. Year 2024 is going to be year of growth for us, so we got some new things coming down the pipeline. We're in year 3 of operations now, so we've tried some stuff. We've seen what's worked.
I gotta tell you, Dan, if somebody had told me or looked into a crystal ball when we opened the building up in 2020 in the middle of a pandemic, that we'd have well over 14,000 and change members there, I would have been stunned.
Crazy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we're super excited about that. But we've got 3 years of feedback now.
Yeah.
What, things we've tried, things that worked, things that didn't work, new avenues that we can explore. So it's going to be a year of growth for us for sure. We got our feet under us now, and we're very excited about some stuff coming down the line. Whether it's more swim lessons, you can't have enough swim lessons in this community.
You're fortunate enough. You have a very good director of the pool operations.
Absolutely, Kelly's fantastic. Yeah,
and everybody seems to love her out there, and she's well known within the swim community.
Absolutely.
But that is especially during, like I just said a few moments ago, during swim meet days, it's just incredible. And from what I bump into people occasionally outside of our community and say, hey, I was over at your community center for my child had a swim meet. And it's like, that's some facility that you folks have over there, and they really wish that they had it in their community.
Sure, yeah, we're super blessed with that. It's state-of-the-art facility. You don't see many aquatic centers like this anywhere else. And just the different ways we can utilize that space between the 3 different pools, the competition pool for lap swimming and swim meets, to our activity pool, which is small for the kids to use, family swim times, parent could just come and dip in for a little bit and hang out, and then our exercise pool, which is like the best of both worlds.
Well, what I love about that exercise pool, not that I go in it, however, you especially go into the morning hours, Monday through Friday, you're more likely to see about 50 seniors taking a water aerobics class, probably geared towards a health issue.
Absolutely.
And that was the whole idea of building a community center, not just for, have exercise, but really for health, mental health and physical health.
Yeah, and that gets lost in a lot of places with the Y. You think YMCAs, you think community centers, you're thinking physical health. But the mental aspect of it is too. It's huge because, you work all day, you come home, you're stressed out. Lifting, working out, running might not be it for you. Maybe you just want to jump in the pool for a little bit and just relax. Maybe you want to do a Pilates class.
It's really interesting to see a lot of the seniors over there getting in there. And it's like, they have a swim club over there now.
They do.
A lot of them go over there on a regular basis, and they do it for companionship and also camaraderie over there while they're getting their exercise. And the trainers over there are doing a fantastic job with the folks over there.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite things about this community center is the different avenues that we can explore. No matter what time of the day it is, there's somebody utilizing that facility compared to your normal business hours, 9 to 5, and then you're done. Early in the morning, we have our senior citizens that come over and they utilize the pool. They 2 days a week, they have their little club that they come together and hang out before and after their swim lessons. Their holiday parties coming up. So that's all folks that just met each other through the Y.
Well, in a lot of them, after they're done, like you said, after they're done with their exercise, they'll stick around for another hour and a half out by the snack bar area.
They grab some from the cafe. They just sit there and talk. And I mean, things like that during COVID, they missed. They didn't have that social interaction anymore. So it's awesome that we can provide a space for them to do that.
And and it's really interesting. The building changes with the seasons too.
It sure does. Yep.
And depending upon what's going on, there's always a lot of hustling, bustling during the seasons going on over there. So what type of programming are you expecting out of there for 2024?
So 2024, we're going to do some different things. Basketball's huge. We can never have enough basketball programming for us.
I am so happy when I get a chance to go peek over there. I haven't been over there in a while to play some b-ball with the kids, but I'm just so happy. It's now, there's a safe place in Piscataway or anywhere, where they can go after school and be with their, peers, but be in a safe environment.
Exactly, and that's the whole thing. It's safe. They don't have to worry about anything while they're there. They're going there to, play some basketball, hang out with their friends. We're providing that space, and our staff's there to help facilitate that as well, which is great. So basketball's huge for us. Volleyball in this area is huge. I've worked it through 2 other Ys before this one. Volleyball was a program that you always had a little bit of trouble getting off the ground. Not here. We do it 2 days a week right now, and it's
the volleyball
packed.
program, you're saying 3 days a week?
Mondays we do an adult program, so it's just open gym time.
Well, just so for the folks, if you've never been over to the community center, the gym, there's striping for 3 basketball courts, 1 long ways, and then 2 sideways. And then there's the striping for the volleyball.
Yep, official lines and everything else. Yep. So we put the nets up on Monday, and that's open play for any adults that come. We have 2 coaches that go there to help facilitate that as well. And then bringing back on Thursdays, we run a intermediate or introduction to volleyball class from 7 to 8, and then it's open gym from 8 to 10. Again, we have staff there to help facilitate some of those games to keep the kids going.
What are the types of individuals that are doing the open gym or like the introduction, say, of volleyball?
Yeah, so most of them are middle to elementary school kids. So folks that are trying to get involved with the game, maybe never played before, maybe trying to hone in some skills.
It's interesting now. When I was going to attend at Rutgers University, they didn't have volleyball scholarships.
Interesting. Okay.
From what I remember, they may have, but it wasn't obviously publicized.
Yeah. I came from Penn State, which has huge volleyball programs. So that's something we're excited to start again. But again, it's just whatever the community wants. If we can try to facilitate it and make it work, we do. The need was there.
I'm so glad that we actually actually install the volleyball court.
Oh yeah,
in there.
absolutely.
It was a home run.
Yeah, it's huge. And we have folks that want to come in and utilize it, for practices from outside.
Now, I want to jump back to the basketball program. Now, you do have some folks that do some training in basketball for the students while they're there.
We do, yeah. So we have private one-on-one training. Through Piscataway Basketball Club. We also have individual camp, we call it basketball camp on Saturdays. So that's your general practice. We're going to split the kids up into ages, do some drills, do some free play, teach the kids
the game. And that's where the 2 courts
that's huge
come
for
into
us.
play.
Yeah, because we can have 2 games going long-wise, or width-wise, instead of 1 game going long-wise.
Yeah.
So it's an extra 4 baskets the kids get to shoot on.
So then what other is there for adults that one?
Yeah, we run an adult league, a 3-on-3 adult league.
We
piloted that this summer, and it was super successful. We had 12 teams. So we're going to bring that back. It's tough to run simultaneous with the high school season. Most of the players have kids, or they're coaching and everything else.
Or they're attending the games.
Exactly.
The kids.
So we're going to bring that back come the end of the high school basketball season.
So around March, end of March.
March, right around that time.
And then it runs up until the start of the summer?
Correct, yeah. We usually play 8 weeks of regular season games, and then we'll do 2 to 3 weeks of playoffs, depending upon how many teams they have. And then we'll piggyback that up in the summertime, and we'll just keep running it simultaneously. And we're starting some new stuff as well. We have dance classes starting back up.
Dance classes?
Yeah. So we're going to do...
What type of dance?
Great question. Something a little different this year. We're going to do everything from parent and child classes. So a mom or dad, grandma, grandpa can bring a child, and we'll do some kind of... it's kind of aerobic exercise, but it's with the children and the parents. Youth dance classes, so we'll have ballet, hip hop, tap, jazz, R&B, depending upon
when you're talking about all the different type of music that somebody can dance to, now do you have a couple of instructors?
We do, yeah. We
for each one
Yeah, exactly. We partnered with a local dance academy. So they'll bring in up to 4 of their instructors who specialize in different dance styles.
Okay.
And then we'll have some adult classes too.
Okay.
So line dancing is coming. Line dance is coming to our
I'm
facility.
surprised Herb Southerner is Herb. He has the radio show.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, not Southern. I was thinking about Southern was the former planning board chair. It's Herb Sutson. But he runs WRSU over in New Brunswick, and he does on Saturday nights. He has country western show.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's something they do over at the senior center, which is super popular. So we're going to offer it 1 day a week over at our center too, along with some adult contemporary hip hop. Basically the same thing that we offer for the kids. We have a lot of adults in this area too that want to get up and do stuff like that. So we're going to offer that for them. Well,
I like to think everybody's hip in Piscataway.
Absolutely, right?
What you like. So, all right. So you're offering dance and music classes.
Yep.
Now, what other offers that are going to be out there?
So we're doing a lot of fitness stuff too. Okay. It's going to be a great
now, is
year
that
for
in
fitness.
where the fitness center is, or is that part of where like the dance studio is?
Both, depending upon what the class is. Some of our big fitness classes like Zumba and Pilates, they'll break them down into 2 sessions.
The dance room.
Or if they're too big, we'll move them to the gym, so they actually go to the basketball court. But they will offer both group trainings and private trainings in our dance studio, and there's 2 studios that are actually in the fitness center.
Okay.
We're going to bring some boxing classes, some boxing cardio classes, no, regular boxing.
Okay.
One of our private instructors over there is certified boxing instructor. Okay. So we're going to do some stuff with the speed bags and some heavy bag equipment.
So I have to laugh. One of my old roommates going back from when I was in high school ended up going to the Air Force Academy, and then he was involved in boxing. He ended up being a lightweight, not a lightweight, it was like a super fight. He was like in the 145 weight class. He ended up winning 2 NCAA titles.
Oh, wow.
Right there.
Very cool.
And, well, they wear all the headgear and everything, obviously. But,
well, our fitness director, Hannah, she was a club boxer at Penn State when she was in college. And her one instructor, his name's Phil, awesome, works at one of the Mayweather gyms in the area. Okay. So he's going to bring some of that stuff over to us as well. Good.
So you have some kickboxing and regular boxing, dancing, and the fitness. Now, is there anything else we're missing there?
Art classes are starting back up.
Okay.
We have a great need for art classes in our area. We ran some before the summertime, and our art instructor actually got
Now, if I remember, a lot of the art does get displayed that folks do art over the building.
It does, yeah. Through the Art Commission, every month they have a rotating artist that comes in and displays their artwork. And that's right in our art studio. That'll swap out every month, and that's open to the public. They can come in and check it out. Some beautiful, beautiful pieces in there. Yeah, it's a tapestry. Which I think is good because
that was the whole idea of setting that room up. Is to be on it, and that's why all the glass is right there, so people could see it. And even if they don't physically go in the room, they could still see it.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. So the art class now, how old is there? An age limit or amount of people that can be in art classes?
We cater to the ages of our participants, so we'll have kids classes starting at 5. Okay. It's tough getting someone a little bit younger than 5 to sit down and draw for 30, 45 minutes. But we started about 5 years old for those for the kids classes. Then we go all the way up to art adult art classes as well. Okay. One of our most popular ones was Intro to Watercolor. And that had anyone from 20 to 25-year-olds all the way up to, we had one of our members was 75, and she came every week and loved it.
So they came in and they set up their painting.
They set up their little easels, and they do free sketching, and then our art instructors work with them to talk about shading and coloring and that kind of stuff.
All right, that's great. Yeah. All right, so now you're talking about arts. You're making Kitty Jotner very happy.
Yeah, Miss Kitty's great.
Yeah. So where are we? Let's go back to the fitness center. What programming's run in the fitness area?
So right now we have spin classes. We just got brand new spin bikes from Life Fitness. They are beautiful. Okay. So we have spin classes that happen in the morning, the afternoons.
Now the new bikes are what you did the Happy Holidays on.
That's right. Yes, sir.
Right there for the first.
Yep. That's our little spin studio there.
Now, how much different are they from the prior spin? It's just that because they're newer.
It's amazing. The technology has updated so much since then. Okay. They're smoother. Okay. They're easier to ride, they're more comfortable, and they all hook up to monitors. so it can display your progress on a TV screen that's right there in the studio as well.
Wow.
So you can do things like group exercise challenges, where you can individually monitor how many miles you're doing compared to how many miles I'm doing, or the instructors can set a group goal. So we want to get to 30 miles in this ride today, and then as a group, we're going to proceed to try to get that goal. Yeah.
Now, the instructors, are these folks that have been long-time employees, volunteers?
Absolutely. So most of them have either been most of them have been with us since we've opened, and even some before that. So they've come from different buildings in our association, whether it was Metuchen or Edison. They came over to us when we opened up. So we try to keep it in the community for sure. But yeah, the cool thing about this was because it was so new, everyone wanted to be a part of it.
Yeah.
And once you get them in here, they're not going anywhere. They're very committed to it.
So what are the reviews of the bicycles?
All positive so far. Haven't heard a single thing that's negative. They love them, and I think more than anything, they're more comfortable.
Okay. You could break a sweat by being comfortable too.
Oh, 1,000%. Yeah, but you're going to break it comfortably.
Yeah. Now, from what I understand, there's going to be some other new equipment that's going to be purchased or replaced.
Yeah, so we got brand new dumbbells. They just came in. So we're replacing all of our free weight sets there.
I remember during COVID, we had to wait a long time for the free weights.
You couldn't find them, yeah.
It was incredible.
Yeah. It's funny, the things that people bought up during that time period, and free weights were one of them, which makes sense. You're sitting at home, you still want to get a workout.
Exercise at their homes.
Yeah. So we got brand new sets of free weights that just came in. They're beautiful, and coming next month, we'll have all of our strength equipment being replaced.
So that, for those folks, why don't you just explain what strength
So that's all of our that's all of our power racks, all of the squat bars, all of our machinery.
So when you see the machine, like a big monstrosity machine, when people push it up right there.
Yep. So we're getting creative with some of that spacing there, catering to the current trend in the fitness world, which is getting away from some cardio stuff and more strength training.
Really?
So more free weights, more machines. The trends come and go within cycles, and we try to be competitive.
Why is that trend changing?
Hannah, our fitness director, would be able to answer this more scientific than I. But from what they're telling us is working with free weights, boosting your cardio that way will actually lead to weight loss faster than compared to running on a treadmill, which can be a little bit more abrasive on the knees and your feet and things like that. But they're saying you can burn just as many calories and get into shape the same pace, if not quicker, by using free weights. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. It's a trend, so that may ebb and flow, but we adjust to what's going on.
So the question is, who's going to quantify that over at the community center?
That'd be Hannah. She's awesome. Hannah and her fitness staff. We have 3 or 4 trainers that have been trainers their entire lives, and they're awesome. And they know the pulse. They know exactly what's going on in that realm. So
now I do know that we're looking to replace some of the other equipment next year too.
Yep, we're on a nice lease program right now. As some of the equipment, we're getting all this brand new stuff in. As that comes in and some of our other stuff starts to wear out or get a little bit older, we'll replace that. So it won't be huge replacements all the time.
For the viewership out there, and if you've never been a thing, because we have such a large membership, nobody anticipated that it would be getting worn out quicker than it is.
Yeah, I think the growth has been extremely successful.
That's actually a good problem to have.
Absolutely. That's something we just adjust to, We bought this stuff when the building was first opening, thinking, hey, this is the impact we think we're going to have on the community. We exceeded that for sure. So now it's adjusting to that and making sure we're continuing to stay up.
Very good. Now, we talk about the fitness room. What other specialty areas are we expecting? What about the youth center?
So Child Watch has been awesome. We opened that up shortly after COVID. And what that is, that gives parents an opportunity to come work out, leave their child in a spot where he or she is well supervised. Our Child Watch staff is awesome. So you just bring them in there, sign them in when you get there. We'll keep them busy, keep them safe. We have lots of games and art and activities that they can do while you go work out. So it gives the parents that are coming right from work an opportunity to go get your workout, and you don't have to worry about that.
Some of the parents, they're coming from work and they have to go pick their child up.
Exactly.
And they may have a gym bag in the back of the car, and then they can get their workout in before they go home and have dinner.
Exactly.
Yeah. That was one of the best thought processes when we were really thinking this, and that was one of the things that came up. In the survey that we sent out, as a resident, they said that they wish they had some to watch the kids while they were working out.
Yep.
Because otherwise they have to wait for another relative or a spouse to
Exactly.
come home, and then they would go out.
And then by that point, by the time you eat dinner, you're looking at
it's
7
too late.
o'clock.
Yeah,
you don't
I'm
want
not
to go
going
work out.
or
You want to
somebody
get
has
it
homework to do or whatever. So.
between first thing in the morning and then that right after work hour. You know, that's our most popular time. So we give them an opportunity to come utilize the facility. We want to try to cater to as many people as we can.
Yeah. Now, we talked about child walk. What about the young adults room?
So our teen center, that's open after school from 2:30 until about 8 every day. And that's kind of a free space. So those kids can go in there. They could do their homework. They could just hang out. And again, we talked about COVID. Kids just didn't hang out anymore. They didn't have that opportunity to socialize and be kids. Yeah. So we provide that space. We have TV set up in there so if they want to watch something, they can put that on there. But just the conversations that happen in there are really, really cool. Having that opportunity to kind of sit in there with the kids and just talk about some stuff.
Well, there's also, you have gaming consoles in there too.
Correct,
so.
yeah. We have some gaming consoles we set up for them. It's funny, Uno is their most popular thing to do.
You're kidding me?
Yeah, you throw a couple Uno decks down there and the kids will play for hours.
Wow, boy, what a flashback.
Low tech, right?
50 years ago.
Save your PlayStation, just get some card games going.
That's right, boy. Actually, I know one thing that's always popular over there is the snack bar.
Absolutely. Yeah, Tony from Cedar Grove runs our cafe, and that place is always popular.
I know people that they tell me that they'll put their order in and then they'll swing by in the car, run in and pick the order up, and then head to work.
Yep.
Without even exercising, they'll just go in just to get the smoothies.
Just to get their smoothies, their acai bowls, a bagel sandwich on the way out the door. Yeah.
Yeah, which I bet if we had thought about a drive-through, we probably would have. Nobody, who would have thought? So, all right. So we basically pretty much. Programming in the multi-purpose room. How is that going?
It's going great. So that space is utilized by a lot of our community partners and anyone else who's just looking for a meeting space there. So we do seminars and lectures through the Y. We just held a training there last week on Dimensions of Diversity, which is a YUSA program where they bring trainers in, they talk to the staff. We had staff from all over the place come. And then we do things like our food drive through Radiant Church.
Which actually was held in December.
In December, yep.
Yeah.
Early December.
No, and actually, I've been out there. It's actually pretty well organized.
They do a fantastic job, yeah.
They come in, people come in off of Stockton, and then Buena Vista come through the parking lot, and then they go back out on Park Ave.
Yep, it's just a big loop, and they keep it moving.
And it doesn't really impact the flow of the normal operations.
It doesn't. They utilize very few parking spots, so it's just a constant loop of people coming in and going out. Yeah. And with that building, it's great because we have the Park Ave side as well. Yeah. So the people can get in and out from that side as well. They don't have to get stuck in a line of cars, but they do. It's a well-oiled machine. They move people in and out of there, and they give food out to about 300 families per time. So. Well, it's pretty important.
If you think about it, that's a very monumental thing because when they have a truck come in the day before, line everything up and
pallets and pallets of food,
right there. So when the cars are coming in, they have the volunteers right there, and then everything's stacked up and all the debris is taken away.
Gone. You wouldn't even know. They're usually there from about 10 to 12, and by 12:05, you wouldn't even know they were there.
Originally, they were doing that operation outside in the down at the 11-12 building parking lot at the high school. And I remember talking to the pastor, say, you might want to get in touch with the Y folks. Maybe it might be conducive. They jumped on that because then they were able to store some of the stuff in the building the day before in order to make the operation flow better. And then when it's really inclement weather, they were still able to do it. So.
You can never have enough volunteers, and when you can give the volunteers a space to warm up in the wintertime as well.
What I like about it is that anything that attracts folks to come to the community center, for whatever the reason is, that's a good thing.
I've been out there multiple times helping them out with some stuff, and that's one of the things they say. They're so thankful to get their food, and they're like, "Wow, this is a beautiful building." Yeah. So they'll pull over and come in. We'll give them a tour. We offer a lot of financial assistance and different insurance programs that cover memberships. So we try to be.
You know what? You just brought up the word insurance. Are you having health and wellness programs going on throughout the year?
Yeah, we do. So depending upon what the insurance is, Horizon Be Fit is one of them. Your insurance company will actually pay for your Y membership. So all you do, if you don't know if you qualify or not, just come on in, and anybody at our front desk can help you, guide you through that process.
And that's critical because in this day and age, a lot of the insurance carriers, they'd rather have somebody going in and exercising.
Absolutely.
Because they're looking at it's cheaper on the front end than the back end.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
which is good. And that's what we want to see people do.
Absolutely.
How does the swim team doing? The
Swim team's
Y
good.
team?
They're doing good. Their season started early December, so they're rolling along very nicely. And from what I hear, the team is doing really, really well.
And I know the high school swim team loves that as their home venue right there.
Yep.
They're the envy of the county right there right now when they have their swim meets.
Yeah.
So, they actually have a pool where they're not getting going at like 5, 6 o'clock in the morning when they had to go to the other pools over at Rutgers or whatever. So now they have something that they can call their own.
Absolutely. And that water's like liquid gold. You can never have enough swim time available for everyone. Yeah. But our staff does a really good job of balancing out the needs of the community and try to accommodate as many people as we can.
It was funny because I remember when we were in design stage and there was a large discussion between ourselves, the town officials, the Y folks, out there. We're trying to think, all right, I always said that there had to be a competition size pool, minimum 8 lanes, because I knew there was going to be a market for something like that. Because originally we were talking just one pool, and I said, no, let's do it right. Let's have a couple of pools in there, because we went and saw down in Virginia Beach, they have 8 community centers. And the one that is probably the nearest in age to us, we took in a lot of their ideas from what they had designed down there, whereas we have 3 separate pools, but they had like one large swim complex area with everything melded together.
Oh, wow.
The disadvantage to that is, and even they admitted after being in operation for a year and a half, if something would happen in the water,
they're shutting everything down.
They had shut everything down. Whereas it did cost us more money to build the 3 separate pools, but it has allowed us to be more functional. Like, for instance, when back, I think it was September, when they did the grouting or whatever, the touch-ups and stuff like that, they were able to, not shut every pool down, but while they were still working on it.
Yeah, correct. Just like in December, we had a hot water pump that went down for a little bit, and instead of closing the whole facility, that whole aquatic center, we were able to rotate to the other pools, so that way folks still had their swim time.
Yeah, and that's the advantage. Yes, did it cost more money? It is, but it's worth it in situations like that.
Yeah, you're not doing a total shutdown. You just kind of adjust things. Yep.
Now, have any programs lined up for the first responders? I do know, I guess, the firehouses were doing some of the
they did some swiftwater rescue. Yep. They did some stuff like that. I'm sure that's coming back in the springtime. I believe that was springtime last year. We did some of those trainings. The local fire companies would come in and do trainings there.
Yeah. And then what other training exercises do you do there?
Well, we do lifeguard classes all the time.
Well, that's at a premium because you always need lifeguards.
Always need lifeguards. And with having the swim teams there and the amount of people that we have swimming, we're finding we're able to piggyback some of that participation into positions working at the Y.
Well, people got to remember that, like a lot of these positions, these lifeguard positions, that they may be students that are going back off to college or whatever. So there's always a need. Maybe there's some high school students, but you never know. They may have life changes, and just like the adults. And that's why there's always a need. The more lifeguards, the better.
And what we're finding is our seniors are looking for things to do.
Really?
So we're getting a lot of seniors that are now getting lifeguard certified. They're coming and swimming anyways, and they're really, really good swimmers. So they're getting their lifeguard certifications, and they're working some of the early morning shifts. That's always the toughest shift to take care of that 5:30 open shift. But it's just, the community has definitely rallied around this center, and it's really, really cool to see how much
and that doesn't
they feel
include,
empowered.
we're going to close out this segment in a minute or so. That doesn't include this upcoming summertime
Splash Park, yes, sir. Yep. So that's a huge draw for us, and it's one of the coolest things about our centers. We have this beautiful splash park out in the summertime. The kids are there, Monday through Sunday.
Yeah. And so we're going to leave it at that. And Dan, I think we'll have you back on maybe sometime late spring.
Okay.
We'll have you back on the show to talk about what's coming on in the summertime. But if you why don't we give the phone number to the Y right now so people can, if they have any questions, they can call.
And you can reach us at 732-250-3377.
So we're encouraging, if you want a tour.
Absolutely.
anybody at the desk is always willing to give a tour to folks to join up.
Yep.
And happy to give that tour.
Absolutely.
And that's what I like, because we're very proud of that building.
Yeah, come on by and see us.
And more importantly, the programming that's in the building.
Absolutely.
Now, very quickly, for those folks, the community center did win an award.
We did, yes, sir. So we were voted the Central New Jersey Community Choice Award for Best Fitness Center in Central New Jersey.
Well, kudos to everybody on the staff.
Thank you.
It's not just about the equipment, it's also the folks that are there.
The customer service, who's ever answering the phone, directing traffic, all that good stuff, yeah.
Well, I want to thank the new executive director of the Piscataway Community Center, Y, for stopping by. Dan, thank you for coming by, and we look forward to bumping into you.
Yeah.
And please, residents, stop by. It's your community center. Don't be afraid. Just come on in and meet some of your fellow citizens over there.
Just come on and say hi. We'd be happy to see you.
Okay. We'll see you, Ben.
Thank you.
I figured you get set up right here.
Everybody's wide awake.
Today we have a special guest, is the Honorable Mayor of Piscataway Township, Mr. Brian Wahler. He's going to be here to talk to you about Piscataway and the structure of Piscataway and give you a little lesson about how things work here in Piscataway. So let's give the Honorable Mayor a big round of applause and a welcome.
Well, thank you. Thank you. You know, it gives me back the days when I was at Randolph-Hill School going back in the 60s. I'm starting to date myself. So I thought what we would do is maybe talk a little bit about Piscataway Township government, how it was founded. So back in the up until 1968, when I was a kid in town, we had our form of government here at the local level was called a township committee form of government. So what they had is that there was 5 people elected throughout the entire town, and they operated the day-to-day operations of the municipal government. So back in 1967, the voters decided to have a referendum in 1968. It was put on the ballot, and they decided that they were going to the voters wanted to change the form of government. So what they did is they went on what they call the Faulkner Act, and they started to have what they call a strong mayor form of government. Now, some of you probably might want to know, well, why did you become mayor? Back when I was a little bit younger than you, I remember going on a merry-go-round in Possum Town Park. Now, the parks are a lot safer now than they were, like, say, 50 years ago. They used to have what they call a metal merry-go-round. Maybe some of the teachers vaguely remember that. Well, we were playing with a bunch of our friends on there, and I happened to fall underneath of the merry-go-round. Back then, we as kids would spin that around like you wouldn't believe. And I ended up getting my head clocked underneath of there. And I remember I said, boy, if I ever can do something as a little kid, I want to make sure that we fix all the parks in town. So I guess if anybody have any questions?
What was it? How old were you when you got that job?
So when I was elected mayor, I was 38 years old, and actually you can run for office if you're 18. congratulations again on this long endeavor here at Piscataway Township. Having grown up within our community here, I can remember when this building was built. So it's very interesting how it's been repurposed from an IT hub. There used to be about almost 20,000 employees out on this site. Between that and next door, you're actually coming at a great time with the redevelopment going on next door. That's going to be our new downtown center. There's going to be on top of the tower, there's going to be a rooftop restaurant and everything. There are a lot of other amenities so for the employees, hopefully they'll be able to patronize. But more importantly, is your continuing tradition will be the home school, home of Rutgers, the real home of Rutgers University, as I remind Dr. Holloway, on a consistent basis. But more importantly is I want to continue keeping our town in the cutting edge of life sciences, which is critical not just for the town, but critical for humanity in general. That's basically it. So thank you, everything. Look forward to seeing it. The last time I was here is when you were digging a large hole in the basement, and it looked like you were putting in a geothermal heating system. There was nothing in there before. So I'll be curious to see what it looks like now. And I'd like to turn the mic over to Robin to speak a few words about this great occasion here in Piscataway Township and for your company.
Thank you, Brian. Thank you for this privilege of having you here to commemorate this grand opening, and we're very proud of what we've achieved here, and thank you for everybody that's been involved and for making this such a great success. And thank you, Brian.
And long live Sampled. We give great tissue samples here, right? Well, we welcome 2024 in with one of our local authors here in Piscataway, and it happens to be Michelle Telfor-Sessoms, a longtime resident for a couple decades here in Piscataway Township, and you wrote a book, and we were talking on prior to coming on tape about what made you really want to write a book. And
well,
go ahead,
sure.
Take it away.
I always wanted to write a book. That was always a goal of mine. However, I always thought it would be an adult book. I didn't realize it would end up being a children's book. So I started thinking a lot about my grandmother, about all the wonderful memories that she had with me, doing different activities, and she was very creative, very hands-on, and she did a lot. And so I thought about that, and I said, you know what, let me start writing a little bit about my grandmother. And so as I was writing, it ended up turning out to be a children's book. So it wasn't the
So
adult
was
book that
this
I originally thought.
your perspective as a young child growing up about your grandmother?
Absolutely. It was all the things she used to do with me. Like she used to cook a lot. We used to have Sunday dinner. So the book has recipes in it, and that wasn't initially the thought to write a book with recipes. Mm-hmm. Absolutely not. However, as I was writing the book, I noticed we talked a lot about food because food was a big part of it. So she used to cook the Sunday's dinners. She used to make me toast with her own grape jelly. She made her own jelly. And so...
so how many of the recipes that were published in this book?
There's about 4 recipes.
And before you say that, did you get a copyright on it?
Yes.
on the recipes?
Yes. They're her recipes. Technically, you can't do the copyright on the recipes, but I did the book.
Okay.
But however, they are her recipes, and I maybe tweaked a little bit here or there, which you can do as well when you purchase the book, if you have the book and you like the recipes. But it's to also remember the soul food. Because soul food is a big part of the culture, of African American culture. And I know everyone wants to eat healthy now and dieting and doing different things. So I don't want us to lose that as part of the history. Well,
shame on those dietitians out there. You're ruining good stuff there.
Good stuff, good food. Yeah. So the book actually talks about fried chicken, collard greens, yams, macaroni and cheese, because that's what the story is about. However, there was not a mention of any recipe as far as desserts. There was no desserts recipes in the story, but I did a bonus recipe, a pound cake recipe, because my grandma used to gift that out to people. So she would make it and she would give it as gifts. So I also thought that would be a nice addition to the book to add a recipe.
So the illustration there, and we were also speaking prior to coming on set about how you went about getting a illustrator.
Yes, I
book.
always had Stavros Pierce. He's the illustrator out of Louisiana. I always kept his card in my wallet saying one day I would probably use him. And I went online. I was able to find him. Again, he's out of Louisiana. We're in Jersey. And we were able to communicate and go back and forth and collaborate on the book. And he did a beautiful job.
Was the gentleman a little stunned when you called him out of the blue?
I don't know, because he's used to people contacting him for artwork, so I don't think he was too stunned.
Yeah.
But I guess he would be surprised to know that I kept his information in my wallet for years before I reached out to him.
Well, that just shows you how determined you were actually
Yeah.
to make the cook some. So the children in the books, is this supposed to be you and your siblings, or is it
It's my children.
Your children.
It's my children that are in the book. I use them as the protagonists, the characters, so that they could tell the story. The story is told to the girl, my daughter, and then my son is also part of the book. And I also put animals in the book, McKeever and Ace. McKeever is actually a real poodle that my grandmother had. Now, Ace is a fictional character because I had to make it rhyme. So it's a rhyming children's book. And then it just happens to have the soul food recipes in the back.
Now, I noticed in the book that shows your grandmother cooking, so I'm assuming she had not cooking, but growing her own garden?
Yes, she had her own garden. She lived in Pemberton. And she,
down in South Jersey.
Down in South Jersey. She had her own vegetable and fruit garden, and also plants, beautiful flowers. She used to always be in the garden.
Well, for those folks in Piscataway who don't remember the 50s, 60s, and 70s here, 4-H was a very big part of this community. I was a 4-H'er, especially if you're on the south side of Piscataway, because that's where all the farms were located. So you tend to migrate towards the 4-H club versus on the north side where you would have Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts. But they taught agricultural.
Yes,
and
I admired that about her because, again, people are getting healthier and going back to that as well, doing the garden.
And to this day, that's one of the reasons why I have a very big garden at my house, because of 4-H. Also, they taught baking and cooking in 4-H, so right there. And
yeah, there's a connection.
There is a connection right there. So what did your children think about when you went and said, "Oh, I'm going to write a book"? And then you were going to incorporate them through their eyes.
They didn't say much. They know I'm used to doing a lot of different things. So when I came up with that idea, they were like, "Okay, Mom." So they were just very proud of me.
So they weren't saying, "Oh, this is Mom just wanted to going off the reservation trying to do something."
Yeah, that's all.
Yeah.
They're just used to me doing different things.
So this is, I'm actually looking through this book. So to show a picture here of her sewing.
She used to make my clothes. My grandma used to make my
no,
clothes.
the funny part is that my mom was like one of the leaders of 4-H, and so she had a sewing club.
Okay.
So like everything you have pictured in here, was like a 4-H, almost like a advertisement for 4-H.
Right.
You know,
and she used to also make dolls. I
Okay.
remember there was a time where the Cabbage Patch was very,
yes.
a big thing. And
Remember
they were all
charging
sold
some
out.
ridiculous
They were
number,
charging a lot of
$300
monies, and they were all sold out. So she made me a Cabbage Patch doll.
Okay.
So she would do things like that. She's
So
very
you just make sure
creative.
Mattel didn't know about it. It's a trademark there. So, and then show your grandmother quilting. Okay.
She used to knit and crochet. She used to make quilts and all kinds of things. Like I said, she's very creative, very.
It's like my sister was a quilter. She made blankets and quilting because of 4-H.
So she did so many things.
Yeah.
So I'm just very proud of her and all the memories.
So who said, did you keep a repository of all the recipes that your mother?
I did.
That your grandmother did?
Yeah.
And it's kind of funny, my brother-in-law's stepmother-in-law passed away, and then there was a big hope chest that was willed that had all the recipes throughout multi-generations of the family in
that's
there. So
beautiful.
right there.
Yeah, so there you go.
Told them that they
and that's why I want to hope, that this can last forever, for others as well.
Yeah, because
who didn't have the
recipes don't go out of style.
No, they don't.
Unless you can't get the ingredients now. I
Right.
mean, that's a whole nother issue. But
Right.
so she even played
the
piano. All right.
She had a
Just like my
piano
wife.
in her basement, and she played the piano.
So did you ever take up piano lessons?
I did not. I'm not really good. I always thought about maybe later on now, maybe doing something like that.
Well, it's never too late,
Yeah, it's
right?
never too late
for a musician.
She inspires me. She continues to inspire me.
Now, everybody knows here on PCTV, I'm definitely a dog lover here because we all know we have my dogs on the set here for the holiday show. So
like I said, one is McKeever. So she really had a dog named McKeever, a poodle. His picture is all the way in the back. There's a picture of me and McKeever when I was little.
Oh, so you have the actual photos in the
Yes,
back?
there's actual photos. So that's McKeever, the poodle. And she used to make my clothes. So there's my outfit and McKeever. She made McKeever a hat and a little jacket.
So you didn't get to buy any Halloween costumes?
No, we
you
did
were
after.
told made your own?
Yeah, she made her own.
There's like my mom. She made everybody's Halloween costumes.
She made everyone's Halloween costumes. Yeah.
So, but anyway, is there anything you want to talk to special to the folks out in the audience about your book?
No, just that I, am very proud of the book. I'm proud of my memories again. I keep saying that. I'm also proud of the illustrations of Starville's Pierce. He brought the book to life, and it's just really good memories. I enjoy just knowing that my grandma legacy will be left here.
So
in this
let me just delve in for a couple seconds about your grandma. So when you were writing the book, did that bring back a lot of fond memories that you always wanted to put on paper?
It did, yes,
You
it
just
did.
never had the time to do it?
Never had the time to do it. Never had the time. But I always, remember her so vividly because she was a big part of my life. I would visit her every Sunday. And so every Sunday we would go from Elizabeth to Pemberton every Sunday.
So which, by the way, if you do the geographical math, that wasn't an easy ride.
No.
Back then.
No.
So you were looking at maybe 75 miles, possibly, about that.
Yeah, about that. And so when I got there, she was always so happy and welcoming and so warm and so humble and just a brilliant person, I thought. And so I said, well, gee, how can I bring all this to life, all of the collaboration of all the ideas and things like that. And so that's what I did. And I made sure it rhymed for the children to read the book. So it's a rhyming book. And it also has, again, the beautiful pictures. And then as I went along, then I decided to put the soul food recipes because I had them available to me. So I decided to incorporate that as well. So
did you ever think of, like, since you've actually finished a book about basically about your grandmom, even though it has a different angle to it about her cooking, and like this is actually acts as a basis of a genealogy layout for your starting through your grandmother's tree.
Yes. Yeah. This is my dad's mom.
Okay.
And she's originally from Texas.
All right.
And then she moved to Humboldt, Texas. She moved to Pemberton, New Jersey, and then she ended up going back to Texas.
Oh, all right.
But she's no longer with us.
Okay. But it actually, has this given you inspired to do a genealogy?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I would love to do that. Yeah.
Well, it's kind of funny because one thing that my late mother-in-law did is for my brother-in-law and my wife, she did the full genealogy research of her maiden name on both sides of the family, and she presented them like 10 years ago in a big bound book and everything, history going back way back when.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, it makes you think about all that and your ancestors.
You have to be very patient for doing something. Just like being an author, you have to be patient.
Yes.
And just thinking like you may not get to the light at the end of the tunnel.
Right, it took a long time to work on this book.
Yeah.
But
you definitely have more patience than me.
Right.
So. But that's a good virtue when you're an author, having patience.
So I
writing.
publish this independently, and I'm also working on a seminar to help others publish their books as well. It's going to be at the YMCA on March 23rd from 1 to 3, and the tickets are available in advance on Eventbrite.
Okay.
Or people could
Now, is there anywhere people can purchase the book? Or?
The book is currently on Amazon.
Okay.
So they could put in their cart, and when they're ready, they can just go and purchase it on
Okay,
Amazon.
well that's great news. So I want to again thank for the first author of 2024 here,
Thank you.
Michelle
Thank you for having me.
Telfor-Sessoms here on here with a local book about her grandmom and her days and memories with her grandmother there.
The time is always right to do what is right. And as it reminds me and all of us that we must continue this fight for equality.
One, two, good, three.
All right. Great job.
Thank you for the hospitality, for inviting me back. So I think, how would you like me to read the book? It says, what do you do with a chance? And this is some folks, some young kids here, pondering what do they do with a chance.
We are having our annual Maker's Day event at both buildings, and it is a celebration of making and creating, science, technology, engineering.
Now, Coach, they're allowed to actually play full court with the 7th, 8th grade, correct?
Correct. All game long, press is allowed. Because I don't know if either team's shooting 50%.
I agree.
Who's got that one? Good. That's a good steal by Rico Hernandez.
Yes, it was.
They can't ball. They can't ball.
They are followed by Colleen Pagano, the parade coordinator. Give her a round of applause. All right, look at the camera. What's today?
We did!
I can't hear you.
We did!
More time.
We did!
Stony the road we trod, bitter the chastening rod, felt in the days when hope unborn had died.
Good evening, Piscataway!
This is our 76th anniversary of our Independence Day and 77th Independence Day. Bharat Mata ki Jai! Bharat Mata ki Jai! Bharat Mata ki